Okay, so if you guys can still see screen, so we're in Cloud API provider meeting for IBM Cloud. So today is Jan 7, first meeting of the year. Happy New Year, folks. And let us get started. Let me create the entry for today's call. Then just copy paste the content from here so that I'll just use the template. All right. Feel free to update your names later post this call. I think for the folks who joined the call newly, so there is this thing called information related to the project, and then the docs and the meeting links you can find easily in readme.md. Here in the first section, I think we have mentioned all these. Then we do have link to this particular docs as well. So in case if there are any issues accessing these things, please let us know. So I recommend you guys to go and then join the invite. I think we do have invite here as well. I think so you can join in the invite here from this. I think there's a calendar invite right here. Not sure where it is displayed. Yeah, but I think definitely we can. Surprised to see there is no calendar invite mentioned in this, but yeah, I think you can see the invite. Yeah, or maybe missing here as well. So okay, maybe I'll add that later. But let us get started. I think it's been a while. I think it's almost 2 months we had the meetings. I think we in the last couple of months. Let's see what is been done. Mostly, yeah. I mean, usual pattern is that we'll go through the commits, the history of commits, what we made, and then we'll spend a few minutes talking about some of those commits, what we have merged, and then after that, we usually talk about some of these features and then releases, what we have released recently, and then we look at some of the backlogs, and then we also look at the CI/CD, how we are doing in terms of the quality, and also we'll have any other topics to discuss, right? I think I see one topic by Karthik, if I'm not wrong. So I think he has mentioned about this. Let me put that in the agenda. Then, of course, these things we will discuss. Just mention these things as well. Okay, we'll go to our regular pattern. Think what October 29th, right? After October 29th, let us see what we have delivered. October 29th, thing number 4th is what we see. This is for pausing the cluster reconciliation. Karthik, if you're around, so maybe if you want to spend a few minutes on this particular feature.
Hi Manju, I think Karthik is yet to arrive, so I think he's on the way. So not sure if he would probably make it to this call.
Okay. Yeah, for more information, you guys can go to this particular issues. It's been discussed in detail. What is this pausing the cluster and then whatnot? So this is and of course you can go to this issue, and then also you can go to the content as well, right? Things that's fine. We can move on. Yeah, there's one bug fix is been done in the webhook. This is mainly for checking the not non-nil sort of thing. So before accessing the region, so we're just making sure that VPC is not nil. So it's to avoid the crash. And then use ignition only when ignition is set in a obvious cluster, right? So this is another small bug fix. So usually what used to happen is that there is this think we are setting ignition only if ignition is present, right? So that's what we are doing. So I think we added some check in ignition code here. Where's that? We badly need Karthik here to explain. Okay, so this is what something we have modified in this code. So yeah, so there's a format is also been changed. So we are just relying on the spec ignition instead of like passing whatever content, then whatnot. So that way we can kind of rely on the spec with ignition content. Otherwise, we don't use it, right? So that's the fix being pushed. Explicitly return error in case of not able to set provider ID in incorrect format. Yeah, this is like, maybe enhancement of enhancing the error message, maybe like error.
Manju, so as for this, I think we were facing issues in Hypershift and other IP as well. If the provider ID is not set properly, we don't see a proper error in CAPI. So I think for that one only, I think he has enhanced the existing stuff to include through and proper error, I guess.
Okay. But now, is it throwing error message in wherever required, or like, are we yet to like adopt this code in Hypershift or wherever related?
I think after this, we did one rebase to the downstream CAPI. I think it might be available in the latest code actually.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, I see that, we are just not doing a lot of error checking here. So I think we're just having more error check here and then whatnot. So I think that's what we have achieved part of this PR.
Yeah. So Karthik is here. So
Hey, Karthik.
Hi, Manju. Good morning. Sorry for the delay.
Hey, no problems. We just opened your commits and then most of the commits were from you and then we were expecting some explanations for some of these PRs. So yeah, quick thing. I think some of these things we discussed, but this one, maybe if you want to give background on the PR you have pushed for pausing clusters reconciliation, right? So if you want to maybe say a few
Yeah,
words on this.
sure. Yeah, basically the core cluster API provides a couple of annotation for pausing the reconciliation for any controller. It may be a cluster controller or the machine controller. So currently we didn't have the support, and I have added it for CAPI IBM. So where it will be used is that in any case of OpenShift or somewhere, if the controller is managed by some other external controller set, then we can pause these cluster API controllers to not to reconcile all the objects. Instead of that, the external controller will take care of it. So that's the whole use case.
Is this the field we use
Yeah,
it somewhere?
yeah. Either we can set this pause to value, or else we can set the annotation. Both are available.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe people can go through. But when somebody uses this feature, I
Yeah, I
think.
think it's mainly for the managed use case they're proposing.
Mhm.
For example, if you consider our OpenShift use case, right? When you have MAPI and CAPI, if a machine is copied from MAPI to CAPI and the MAPI is taking care of it, then we want to pause for CAPI. That's the one of the use case
Okay.
we want taken for our case.
Even though if you have the controller, it will not react on the machines.
Uh,
Is that what you're trying to?
yes, yeah.
Okay,
It won't react
perfect.
to the events.
Okay, perfect. That answers the question, and we'll move on. I think after this, there are a bunch of UTs,
Yeah.
new test cases we have pushed. Then plenty of new test cases, I believe, right? Um, okay, so with that respect, I'm not sure how much UT we are covering, so I'm not sure if use somewhere here. Um, Is the plus API. Anybody have handy ink? This is what the coverage link, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Periodic. And then overall like 48%, which is very low for sure.
Yeah, that includes the VPC, latest VPC changes as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's the culprit, I believe.
Yeah.
I think plenty of these commands also are there. I don't think we have any UT for the commands.
No, currently.
But we are not even considering them part of the percentage calculation. We need to go back and then check how exactly we're calculating this percentage.
Yeah.
But I still see good. Okay, so IBM Power, I think we have mostly 80, 66. I think one of this is 66. I see a scope of improvement there as well. In others, of course, it's a lot more needs to be improved here, the VPC code.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one, that's one more area where people can contribute there to increase the UT. I'm just wondering if we can create a task for that, I think.
It is still kind of incomplete, so the deletion phase he hasn't taken care. So
I think let's have one placeholder so that we don't forget. It's pretty bad. If you look at the coverage, it's pretty bad, that area. And also the other commands and all that, I'm not sure whether we can have some of these UTs done here as well, or I think we'll have to decide how to. Yeah, I mean, if some of these files, like we don't really have any way to write UTs, maybe we need to exclude them. Unnecessary, it just increases or decreases the coverage. Yeah, for sure. I think we need to spend some more time on UT stuff. But yeah, but otherwise we have fantastic work. I think we have done a lot of UT the last release. It's really good work, guys. Yeah, next one is that this is VPC related PR, so mainly for reconciling load balances and then whatnot. I think we have a lot of other PRs also merged in. So I think this is one of like PR got merged recently, but after this there are a lot of other PRs got merged in terms of reconciling the machines and reconciling security groups and then whatnot. So there are a lot of course, a lot of UTs, and then we'll talk about some of those VPC part later. I think maybe I'm just wondering if we really want to have one maybe session from Chris on the VPC. Great.
Yeah,
So
Manju.
maybe
So before vacation, I have spoken to him and I have told that team is looking for a demo. He told that I think once that is merged, everything is merged. I think he's ready to give a demo for that as well. I believe. Maybe I can check again maybe this week and I will update.
But most of code they are merged, right? I'm not sure what else is pending.
Yeah, I think that maybe the delete flow he was looking for. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next PR is for the documentation. I know we have done something. A lot of refactoring in done. Amalia, are we good?
Yeah, at least initial cleaning up and refactoring is done. As of now, it looks good.
Yeah, with respect to us. But I really encourage some of the new folks who joined the project. Like I say, Anshuman in the call, Raman in the call, right? So I would, Priyanshi is also there. So I would say, like, you guys, please go through the doc like a new perspective. and then let us know if something is missing, right? So that will help us in terms of improving for sure. I mean, it can be like even maybe writing new content to ensure we have more clear talk or whatnot. I think but there's always a scope for improvement for sure. What I can sense when I look at this talk always, but we really need those fresh eyes to maybe tell us how you are expecting or what else you expect in terms of maybe usage or in terms of maybe like development as a developer as well, right? So please let us know. Be helpful.
Sure, Manju.
Yeah,
Cool.
just to add on that, I think, I mean, for pressing on that, really new eyes would help, because we who have been developing and working on this, we are not able to see that from a perspective of new eyes. So recently, when a couple of folks were trying out the UT and the way they wanted to test, so they came up with a couple of suggestions that this part was not clear. So I just want to stress on that point, that new eyes will definitely help improve the documentation.
Perfectly. And Amulya, what are those comments? Do you have them handy somewhere so that we
I
can?
think they already went and fixed it themselves.
Okay.
Wherever
Okay.
needed, yeah.
Cool. Okay. After that, yeah, again, like couple of UTs, plenty of UTs, in fact, and then some bump, and then there is the handle external managed clusters image deletion. So, Dharnish, you want to talk about this PR?
Yeah, Manju. So what was happening is, in case of Hypershift, so since we are only depending on Capi to create the IBM image, so when we delete the cluster, it kind of deleted the whole stuff. I had to not check the deletion timestamp for the external managed cluster kind of thing, and I had to add this fix for unblock the hypershift deletion. So that is where this fix is needed actually.
Okay. That solved the problem for Hypershift.
Yeah. After that, we were able to delete the cluster actually.
Cool. And post that, we have made some documentation changes for including new zones, I believe. Okay. Yeah.
So this also include the Chennai data center that was added recently, Manju.
Only Chennai, right?
Yeah, and the formatting was just fixed.
Okay. But anyone tried deploying in Chennai data center by any chance?
No, I haven't tried.
Okay. And also, I'm not sure if we don't really have VPC and other stuff. I don't know. The question is like, what will happen, let's say, if you want to map some VPC resources as well? Like, how do we do it? Still a question mark. Okay. Yeah, so again, follow PR for the VPC content. So there's a machine reconciliation being added here in this PR by Chris. Yeah, definitely we need demo from Chris will maybe in the future we'll have that. Then there's and then VPC machine LBs, like adding machines to LB, deleting, and bunch of module updates. And so this is after our release cut, right, Amulya?
Yes, this after release.
Yeah, generally what we do is that once we release a branch, we end up updating certain versions. Like this is like some housekeeping task is what we have. Not sure, like maybe I think we need to start creating one template for release. When we release, I think, do we have anywhere?
We had a checklist as a part of an issue. There is an issue created as a checklist, but we just mention all of those. I think we'll have to revisit that and add any missing items.
Yeah, because it says fixes, but we don't really are not pointing to any issue as such.
Yeah.
Maybe I think what we should do is like we should have some sort of release cut. Need to have issue template
Template, right?
and some documentation as well. Right, so this is needed. Right, so that'll help us like if in case we don't miss anything, right? Because in the past we did miss this particular metadata update most of the time, right? Right now we don't have clear information like why are we updating and all that, right? I think maybe like one doc which says like all these, the generic, like whatever the housekeeping stuff, and then with more information pointing to on the cluster API doc will be helpful. So let's work on that. Yeah, but part of that, I think we have updated Golang and also something in the weekly scan, I believe. We just added. Okay, we just changed the branch names. Cool. By the way, anybody monitoring this weekly security scan? I know we are running for some time. Where is this part showing? Is it like displaying somewhere here? No.
The security scans, Manju, will
Oh,
be
this is GitHub Actions, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, just missed it. Anybody looking into these security scans?
Yes, Manju. We do look, and whenever there is any failures on any of the branches, we do fix by updating whatever is required.
Okay. But is there any way to sort of maybe like send a notification or anything like that if there are issues, anything like that?
I think we can do that. Yeah, can check into that.
Okay. Notifications for I see some errors here, some warnings. We have to fix these warnings as well.
Yeah, so I think that's mostly related to the underlying OS image. So
Yeah, fix warning. I think we'll have to create issues for these things post this call. Okay. And there is a PR being pushed by Dharnish for refactoring network reconciliation. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, Manju. So I have taken care bunch of things as part of this single PR. So the main goal was to handle the existing network properly. So whether if the existing network is provided, whether it is actually exist or not. If it is a DHCP network, what will happen? And also we want to accommodate the non-DHCP network as well. So I have explained all different cases and what will happen and how it has been handled in the PR description as well as in the code. So yeah, so totally I've redesigned the reconcile network part itself as part of this PR actually, and I've added the UT for all the different cases that I have handled as well.
Okay. And this is not it. I don't think we have released this code yet. Just wondering if anywhere we're using this code right now in like maybe in OCP or Hypershift. Let me not pull this code yet, right? Or
I think installer they might be using. We need to check.
but this is after the release of the branch, right?
Yeah,
The
installer folks won't point to release Manju. They just directly point to the latest version of me.
Okay, not sure. Okay. And maybe I think we'll have to see if we are doing good there, right? Because this is a major PR.
Yeah.
Okay, then there is a bump. There's one more PR we have fixed for choosing the zones when we mention multiple subnets. Anybody wants to talk about this? I know it's a bit tricky. Maybe just overview.
You can talk.
Yeah. So previously, when we are having multiple VPC, for example, this is for creating a VPC subnet and using that in a load balancer. Previously, when we have multiple subnets, we are hard coding to use the first subnet only. Then later, we thought this is a limitation, and when we want to use multiple subnets, we were decided on how to select it. So finally, we came to a conclusion on using the round robin approach. If the user is not providing anything, we will by default create subnets in all the available zones for VPC. If a user has provided more than subnets, then we will use the round robin method. So this change contains all those scenarios.
So you can see here that this particular sample, so these are the subnets for that particular cluster, meant for the load balancer, of course. So when user mentions zone, so it'll use this zone for creating this subnet. If user doesn't mention this zone, so it'll just use some random thing, I think round robin. So
Yeah.
zone. So that's what we are following in this particular logic. Here is an example. I think it's been mentioned here. All right, so this is mainly for if you have more subnets mentioned in your cluster.
Yes.
Then there is a package pump and set toolchain. Yeah, this is again was a little pain. So I think Anshuman is here anyway, so maybe you can briefly talk about this.
So this was mostly because the Dependabot was adding the toolchain version manually, and unless we set it ourselves, it would update every time one of the packages we depend upon changed the minimum toolchain version. So it was a good idea if we fixed it at the version with which we were building our packages. That's why this was added.
Okay. Thank you. And there's an update in the release stuff as well. So there are a couple of releases we're missing, so we added them. Thank you. And we did update to the latest the doc, and then what again the documentation link for the released version, all that. Now everything is all we don't have any issues with the docs, right, guys? Prajot or Amulya?
No. Now I have got access to the Netlify site. So in future also we can directly add the respective branches and update the links ourselves. We don't have to depend on them. So we should be fine going ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. And this PR is for updating cluster API to the later version. So we do it for every release. I think this is the file you can refer here. So earlier version was 1.8, and then now it's pointing to beta 1. Of course, later we have updated to the released version as well. But yeah, ideally, like what we do is like these are I think there are two places. Yeah, I mean there are other places as well, but with respect to the Golang package update, so there are two places. One is in go.mode, the main project itself. So yeah, we update cluster API content, and also we update, the relevant Kubernetes update also with that. So how do we find DTs? We go to cluster APIs, right? And like Go plus API project, and then see what they are done in their go.mod file, and then we use them. Think we do have documentation for this, right, Namulya? How we do this and all that.
And documentation for this, we have an image issue, but we need to create a template and also add it to the documentation.
Okay.
And as it can go as the same as a part of the same issue. Yeah, another issue for CAPI.
Okay. Bump CAPI apps. Good. Then we updated to RC1, and eventually we updated to the latest version later. So you want to talk about this again? Which one?
Yeah, so this was required because I think make verify was failing in one of the dependabot PRs. So I think it's still not resolved completely, Manju, because I followed up with the original issue. I think after rebasing, or somebody triggered a rebase because it had gone stale. So even after that, verify is failing. I think it still has to be looked into.
Okay. You'll see. Okay. And as of bump in the or change in the GCP Docker Cloud. And this is the image for used for building all the images, like building all the cloud build and then whatnot. I know there are a lot of failures started happening after this. I think might have changed in terms of fixing this by like there was a problem in GCP image what Prajot pushed earlier, so I just had to sort of pin to the older version and to older minimum required Golang here so that the entire stuff passes, because earlier like part of this the pump, so it was just using the later version, and then it was creating some issues and all that. I had to we just this was the problems. Then later version had this Python later version that was creating issue and all that. So we end up like using the low version to fix the issue, and then after that the build started passing. I think we did fix that.
So now, Manju, the latest image, I was checking that. So it
Yeah,
has fixed it. So we can update the IBMCloud image. So I'll raise that PR.
exactly. That's my point. Is I think I do remember that I just added some dummy PR to update it.
Yes. And also, I think the pinned version 1.22.1, right, in the hack files, that can be also then, after this update, can be bumped to 1.22.9.
Right. That leave it as is. So that maybe we can leave it. That will
Okay.
not create any issue, right? Because this will is just a go, right? Or just always uses this particular version, or it just I'm just not sure.
That should be fine, Manju. It's just that in that particular image, it was not there, so it was throwing an error. But yeah, now it should be fine, I guess.
Yeah, if it is not required, we don't need to bump. So this was just .1 is what required for underneath one of the dependency for building it. I think if it is not making a lot of change and not a lot of problems, I think let's keep this minimal version as is, which is a bare minimum thing. So I don't want to sort of change to something else and then. But yeah, but change this one. So I think we can bump this one.
Yeah,
Okay. We have updated to cluster API 1.93. This is more of a currency update. Couple of weeks back. Latest one updated the port. And that is it what we have delivered in last 2 months. And I think we also released 0.9 release. And then, yeah, most of the stuff we delivered part of this release is that VPC code. And VPC implementation for clusters, cluster creation, and then whatnot. And then, of course, machines as well, and load balancer and everything. And some more changes. I think we have done it lot more. Not so. I think UT, we have plenty of UTs. And then, yeah, this is the complete list. I think this was one of the, I think, I'm not sure, like one of the, yeah, like you just like, I mean, there are so many contributors for sure, like more than 15 contributors contributed to this list. I think it's wonderful. It's a really huge, it was really big one, so I can say. Thank you, folks. That and we can see the number of commits also we pushed part of this release, right? So it is 167 commits. Wow, that's really huge. What was the previous one? Not a lot, but yeah, I mean, good, but not less as well. Cool. That's about releases and the backlog. We'll maybe quickly go through the backlog. I think we have what 15 minutes left. We'll make it quick. Assign now. Dance also needs to be. I think I just created a one minor issue. People can take a look if anyone interested. Not really sure what is this.
Yeah, this is that VPC some timeout issue you're facing, right? Before vacation.
Okay.
Ask Shilpa to create a issue for reference.
Okay, let's debug, and then if it is not relevant anymore, maybe let's close it with the findings.
Yeah.
Okay. Issues. And these are our backlogs. We'll see if we. I think these are fine. I think I don't see anything. Yeah, two bugs, and then some features not so major features as such in this list. Okay, maybe we'll go through the milestones with next. So this one is like dangling for quite some time. So Amulya.
I'll work on this release mentioned. Maybe I can, or if anybody's interested in about like pitch in, like feel free to.
Yeah, I think please reach out, Amulya, in case if you anyone interested. So I think we are working on this instrumentation part mainly for exposing some more matrix. And what else? Matrix and then some tracing also we want to enable, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
yeah, please join the effort if you're interested in. So this item is there for quite some time. We haven't spent any time on that. Like, yes, of course, we Mula did some time. So let's reach out to her. This is needed. Bootstrap cluster with ignition. So
I think this may get some momentum this month, Manju. Last before vacation, people started engaging with the CAPI community for supporting the V3. So there's a document going around. Maybe once people are back from vacation, you should take some work.
okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm following up on that. Maybe I will keep on updating the same issue.
All right. So Amulya, do you want to someone else to explore this? Not sure if.
Yeah, sure. Anybody? Yeah. I'm not sure what is expected out of this. It's been quite some time. I probably have to take a look and add some description there.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I was looking at is like right now we are just storing the Calico spec completely in this, right? So I think the code we have just downloaded the entire Calico YML,
Right.
YAML, right? So I think I'm just trying to see if we can avoid that, right? I think that
Yeah, we
YAML
can
itself is.
definitely enhance it. Yeah, I mean, using cluster resource it. Yeah, we can definitely enhance it. Yeah, if anybody who's interested can work on it, it'll be a good issue to work on.
All right, I'm just get to 10. Let's see if I can get some help there. Yeah, this is, I don't want to pick it up right away because this is a huge work, but I don't see a lot of interest also for this right now. I'll just park it. See if any time required, so we'll pick it up later. This is standing for quite some time. I'm not sure what happened to this PR. There are at least some PR or
I do have a PR ready for this.
okay. I mean, like you already submitted a PR or
I'll request for review once again.
okay. Yeah, let us close this one. So this is quite was for quite some time. It's still in the state. No. This is seems to be documentation. So Niharika is assigned, but I'm not sure if Niharika is working on this. Can someone like poker again?
Yeah, sure, Manju. Yeah, I'll check with her.
What is this?
Yeah, I think it's almost done, Manju. I'm not sure why it's still open.
Is there any idea why it is? I mean, there are Karthik, you have some of these check marks.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I will reuse it and I will update Manju.
Are these all done or still what is remaining like?
I think most of them should be done. I will check and I will update the issue by today.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, this is the issue what been discussed recently, right?
Yeah.
Let's pull into 1.0.10. And also, I think I have a couple of pointers. I'll just make them here as well. I think we need definitely some write-up on this because it's we need to definitely need more write-up on this for sure because there are multiple scenarios we need to deal with. Like create, update scenario and all that, and delete scenarios we need to deal with, and also we need to deal with machines and machine deployments and then whatnot, right? I think, right, because yeah, I mean, user can specify this annotation what we are talking about for the selector. And that annotation can come from machine or machine deployment as well, right? So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how to deal with some of those scenarios and all that. Yeah, I think annotations can be deleted by anyone, right? I think, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you
So,
can.
yeah, in that case, how the code will react and all that, I think all those scenarios we need to consider.
Yeah. Also, I think we need to generalize this port also. Maybe in the current PR, it's hardcore to the 22 port. Maybe in future, if you want to add some other port also, that should be done by annotation as well, I believe.
No, not really, right? I mean, that's not sure. But that depends on the, I don't know why. Okay, I'm not sure.
It's
Um,
not linked.
Yeah, PR is not linked, I think. There's an open PR.
yeah, PR is not linked. Yeah, I mean, of course. Think let's maybe like put together some of those points. Karthik, do you want to maybe spend more time, like maybe just mention those
Yeah,
pointers here?
sure, sure.
I'll also update with more pointers.
Yeah,
I think we'll have to write some design doc sort of thing for this,
yeah.
right? Add a priority listener pool. I'm not sure how to do this.
Yeah. So I think the ask is that if you're adding listener to machines, right? So prioritize few machines compared to others. For example, if you have master and worker, and you add to master first, then to worker, so it can save some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, not sure. Yeah, let's discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it for next. For now, I think we'll tackle other announcements. We will do it. This one becomes a little important. I think let's handle that. I think this comes a little late. So once we deliver something, so maybe we can, this one, so we can look into this. Maybe one at a time. Um, what is this?
Yeah, I think this is also almost done as a part of Amulya's refactor PR. So the goal was that, right, we can mention resource by ID or name. So we wanted to make sure that it behaves same across all the resources, like service instance, network, everything. What happens if the ID is specified and if ID is not found? That kind of scenario.
Okay. Is this
Yeah,
just the documentation or like
yeah. I think the code logic is, I think it's already handled. Maybe we can recheck the documentation. If required, we can update it and we can close this.
okay, so who want to, okay, who part will find right now? I mean, okay, so we'll just sign into 1.10, sorry, 0.10.
This I already started working on it. Once I almost have the code changes. I'm testing it currently. This was one major thing we wanted to include soon.
Okay. Do we need to do this? I don't know. Let's, I don't spend any time on this. Anyways, we have enough things.
This has an open PR already. I have to revisit. There are a couple of questions raised there, so I just have to revisit that and see. As of now, I don't see this issue occurring in the CI, at least in the past month or couple. But I need to revisit secrets part here.
Yeah, exactly right. So that was a little concerning for me.
Yeah, I'll check that again.
Yeah, maybe I think we'll have to find some other logic. Maybe, not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep it next
Okay.
for now.
Okay. Yeah.
And remove deprecated V1 format. So Maybe we can
Yeah.
do this, right? I think it's been deprecated for
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
like 2 release.
we were waiting for a release before removing it. Maybe I think since we have one now, we can remove it as a part of this new release.
Cool. Yeah, somebody created an issue for adding additional disk to a node. This must be for VPC, I believe. Anyone interested, please let me know. I think I don't have a bandwidth for on this. If someone interested, I can just work on this part. This is going to be like very interesting work for sure. Adding an additional disk to a VM. I think that might be for VPC. So, tag created resource in cloud rather than using controllers created status field. What is this, Karthik?
Yeah, we want to explore and eventually move towards this method.
Tagging resources, right?
Yeah. I think I
Great.
had that even, by some time even Power VS resource also can be tagged. So I think that we had a limitation. I think if we can slowly start from VPC side, we eventually reach here.
Okay. But do we have a bandwidth for this? Like we have plenty of other PRs also.
Yeah, maybe not for this release, maybe for next release.
Okay. Okay, I think we need this. All this VPC stuff needs to be sorted out. This tag.
Yeah, this is just to keep it parity. Currently, we support
Okay.
ID and name, so we don't support regular expression.
Yeah, assigned to Carmel. Let's see if we can poke him. Right. Unable to connect to API server first. What is this?
This was a CI issue we see a little frequently. So I just created a placeholder for it to track this and maybe spend some time debugging and fix it. This is the one which we see the most frequently in our CI.
Okay, but we know like why it is happening.
We don't have the logs from the machine, right, Manju? So it's difficult to actually see what has been happening. Only we have to reproduce this and try to log into the machine and see. So I did not get time to do that. But reproducing this is also tricky. When I try to run locally, most of the time it passes.
Okay, but what logs we need? How do we enable those logs, or how do we collect any log of those logs? Any
That
ideas
needs
there?
No, that needs exploration only. That's where we were stuck at the last time.
Okay. Collect logs from the machines, right?
Yes.
Big question mark right now. I think we'll have to create or explore that part. It's been a while. I think we have no clue if it fails. That's the concerning part.
Yes.
Logs is what we can be helpful. So maybe let's see if we can do that. One issue has been created by Karma.
Yeah, Manju. So this is for improvising the logging overall in CAPI IBM. Currently, we create context everywhere we want to use log. So we want to inherit the context from the parent caller.
Okay. So do you
Yeah.
want to maybe take this up? Like maybe I would say like this.
Yeah,
It's
I
already
think
been assigned.
we should be able to take it up. Maybe I'll check with him.
Yeah, if not him, right? So I think what I really want to okay, we'll talk about the ownership part after this.
Yeah.
Mock bump issue. Okay, all these things, minor bugs should be get fixed. This one we'll discuss, and secure boot is another, like, let's not, yeah, I mean, let's take one thing at a time. So I think this is also a very interesting thing. We can explore how to do that. But this one, you want to take it part of this release?
Maybe this release is difficult, but it needs a lot of discussion because I'm not sure how the networking will work with different zones. Also, current overflow is tightly coupled to a zone, even the authenticator and everything.
But how about
So
like splitting it to multiple? Like, let's discuss about the designing aspects in this release,
yeah,
and maybe like the implementation part in the next release or something like that. Because we need to spend good amount of time in terms
Yes.
of the APIs and designing and everything, right?
yeah, correct. I think maybe by this release we can finalize on the approach or the design for this.
Okay.
Maybe breaking API just also may require.
Yeah, I think let's yeah, we'll update. I will update. Update this. Okay. I agree. I think there are so many things involved here, right? I think, see, we need to handle cluster spec, also need to handle machine specs, then whatnot. So we definitely need more time on this part, designing aspects.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, those are the things we wanted to discuss. I think we have it is so slow, man. Sorry. Can you guys still hear me properly?
Yes, yes.
It says internet connection is unstable. Or comments? Okay. I think this is taking quite some time. So what I just wanted to do is that, let's filter by release, this next release, and then see what all the total issues we have, and then what issues we have, the assignees, and then what other issues we don't have assignees, right? Think if feel free to like maybe like filter yourself and then go if you think can contribute for any of the issues. If you don't find any assignees, please go and then assign yourself and start working on the issues if you like to, right? And of course, you're not alone. So I think the other folks can help you as well in terms of understanding or making that issue understand and then whatnot thing. You're not alone in the battles. Feel free to reach out to the folks. Yeah, I think this is the list.
Yeah.
We have around 21 issues, and then there are many issues doesn't have assignees yet. We're already like 5 minutes over. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, please go through the issues, and then whoever doesn't have the assignees, please go and then assign yourself. Okay. One thing before closing the call, I just want to see is the CI, how we are doing. I think we did cover everything. So this multiple service instance, I think let's, as discussed, I think let's split into multiple parts.
Yeah.
Let's focus on designing part this release. like how API aspects should look like, and then what are the design aspects we need to consider for implementing this. Then maybe implementation in the next release.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so when are we targeting this next release, Manju?
Not sure. I'll have to check when is the cluster APIs schedule. Anybody knows when are they releasing it?
I didn't check. Maybe.
Any idea, Prajot?
I'm just checking.
Where they mentioned in this particular?
In the docs, in the cluster API repo, in the docs.
The docs?
Yeah, in the docs, they have a release folder, so they probably may. So releases you can check. Yeah, add KPV one dot first folder releases. They have added a latest commit. Yeah. April, yeah, 29th April or around that time. Last week, probably last 10 days during the.
Okay. I think in released, right? So this is what it says, 22nd. Ideally, what we do is like we release after a couple of days after this one. Let's say if I think we have issue created here at milestones. 10. April, right?
Yeah, April 22nd is.
April 22nd. April 22nd. Maybe a week later is what we release. Let's put it like about 9th of May.
Yeah.
Or 2nd or 9th is what the feasible options.
Yeah, that should be good.
Let's put 9th.
Yes.
I think we have what?
3 more
We
months.
have 4 months.
Yeah.
Or 3 or 3 odd months. Yeah. Okay. This is that. And anything else you guys want to discuss? I think we covered most of the topics. All right. If no other questions, thanks for joining the call. Have a nice day, folks. Have a nice rest of the year. Happy New Year, all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. Bye bye.